As mentioned in a previous video where we discussed essence types, the use of image essence is constrained by an application. The application contains all the relevant characteristics one needs to accurately create an image type and composition to satisfy a program's requirement. There are varying application types, all of which are designed to satisfy an applicable use case. Application 2. Application 2 is designed specifically for content owners whose content is designed for studio-based applications. In other words, a program of works which is required to be versioned into multiple content versions which are then eventually made available to multiple studio distribution channels. This distribution mechanism can occur across a span of many months or even years, depending on rights management and distribution agreements amongst partners in the relevant territories. It relies on image essence coded as JPEG 2000 code stream and audio essence coded as linear PCM. App2 supports an image size up to Full HD, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels, with a maximal pixel depth of 10-bit. It can accommodate both stereoscopic 3D and monoscopic imagery, both structured as progressive and/or interlaced, running with a frame rate from 23976 up to 60 frames per second. Now, you may notice that although HD is great, there is a need for higher image sizes and support of other formats such as HDR, and that is where Application 2 Extended comes into place. App2E supports image sizes up to the ultra high definition and 4K resolution and extends the bit depth support to 16, but also constrains other characteristics such as frame rate and color encoding. Application 3 covers the use of image essence coded using the MPEG-4 Visual Simple Studio Profile code stream. It can support images up to 4K and again uses PCM WAV as its audio essence. It can accommodate both stereoscopic 3D and monoscopic imagery, both structured as progressive and/or interlaced, running with a frame rate from 23976 up to 60 frames per second. Moving back to JPEG 2000, Application 4 has been constructed to service a requirement by productions for the preservation of cinematographic work created through digital post-production regardless of its source, be it film or digital. It uses images encoded using 16-bit XYZ color primaries and a linear transfer function. It has support for image sizes all the way up to 8K neg scans. It enforces multi-segmentation in a composition for the sake of real preservation. It is one of the main IMF applications for digital intermediate telecine restoration and archiving. Application 5 services ACES. ACES stands for Academy Color Encoding System, and it is a free, open, device-independent color management and image interchange system that enables the creation of digital masters suitable for long-term archiving. It accepts any frame rate and spatial resolution that may be in use by the production. It can accommodate both stereoscopic 3D and monoscopic imagery. So, one difference here is that you may notice that the ST acronym, which denotes standard, is missing. Instead, we have RDD. RDD stands for Registered Disclosure Document, and RDD is a document that makes a disclosure of a specific technology or private property available to the public via SMPTE's publication and distribution mechanisms. ProRes is one such property. As everyone knows, it is owned by Apple, and there is a requirement for its use within IMF. And RDD allows for this support to be incorporated so that the ProRes specification can be leveraged within the framework. More information on RDDs can be found on the SMPTE website. The TSP acronym here stands for Technical Specification. It is a process developed by SMPTE to complement the SMPTE standards development process through publicly publishing a specification that satisfies specific technical business requirements determined by proponents and agreed by consensus within the working group looking after the task at hand. TSP 2121 is an IMF application with a purpose to satisfy the requirements that are common to many in the broadcast and online sector. It builds on the characteristics defined in RDD 45, and we also see the introduction of HLG. One thing that is worth to note is that applications can and do also reference each other regarding base constraints that may already be defined there. Let's look at the use of Apple ProRes as an example of this. We can see that App2E is deemed the reference for the base image characteristics, track file and composition constraints, which RDD 45 builds upon with its use of ProRes as the codec, which in turn is then further constrained by TSP 2121.